Oh my goodness, the mosquitoes are getting bad. Ah, okay. Hey, welcome back, party people, to Stay Grounded Gardening. If you're new here, welcome. I live in Central Alberta, growing zone 3B, where we have about an 80 to 100 day growing season. Today I'm going to talk about what I'm direct sowing in the garden. So today I have my seeds out here. If you're going to get a ton of seeds for your garden, I highly recommend one of these. This is just a photo box container that I got from Michael's, but you can get this online too. I'm not sure how much it was. I think it was around $30-ish. It keeps them organized, it keeps them dry, and yeah, it's just easy. You pick it up, bring it out to the garden, away I go. Look how agile I am. Look at that. Can do so many things. Okay, well, let's go over the seeds I'm gonna plant. The other thing I got out here is my map that I probably drew up in like January and changed probably about 10 times. It's just like, it's mapping out where I want stuff, and it's for a good reason. I mapped it out so for watering purposes, for shadows and where they're going to land, where the sunniest parts are, where the darkest parts are of the garden, stuff like that. So that's why I draw out a map, and then I know exactly how many seeds to start, and I know what I'm gonna need for the growing season. So I'm gonna be direct sowing some seeds today. We are supposed to get possibly a frost in like 3 or 4 days. So I'm not putting out my little seedlings that I've started. They're definitely done hardening off, but I am not putting them in the ground. The reason why I'm not is because I don't want to run out here and cover them all up. If you had a really small garden that you could just like throw a fitted sheet over top of, you could probably get away with doing it now. But right here where we are, I'm not doing that because I'm gonna have everything spread all over the place, and I really don't want to have to worry about taking like milk jugs and sheets and stuff and going and placing them all over the garden. So I'm going to be direct seeding some corn, my zucchini. Actually, I think I have some seedlings of zucchini, so probably not zucchini. Corn. What else? I'll be putting my beets in. I'll be putting my beans in. And my carrots. That's it. Nothing too crazy. Maybe I was gonna put a radish in at the end. I don't like radishes, but I know a lot of people that like them for the pods that they grow. When you let a radish go to seed, after they flower, they produce these seed pods, and they actually taste like radishes, and you get like thousands of them rather than that one radish. So I'm probably gonna do that, maybe try and pickle them or something and give them as gifts. I like doing that kind of stuff, so I'll probably just plant one of those off on the side. And of course, when they seed, they flower, and the pollinators love the flower. We don't have a bad supply of pollinating stuff, as you can see from this yard. Our dandelions are cray right now. So anyways, let's get to planting some of this stuff. I'm just going to do a time lapse of it, and then maybe talk about it afterwards and what I'm going to do. Okay, so while I'm out here, I'm gonna tell you guys what I planted, the varieties, before it starts raining on me. One quick tip, if you're growing things like carrots, do it before it rains, and then you don't wash all the seeds away. Okay, I'm gonna put these up on the screen with their pictures and stuff too, so that they make sense. And seeing as I'm over by the carrots, I will start with carrots. So I like to do a few different colors so that I can have rainbow carrots for supper and to freeze and all that other stuff. So first I'll go from the far to here. These are long rouge sang carrots. I'm probably going to butcher the names. So get ready for that. The next ones are purple carrots, and they're just called purple dragon carrots. And then for my orange ones, I got ones that the taste profile on them on the website was really good. So I went with them, and they're just orange. They're called New Kuroda carrots, and I think they're a little squatty. They're kind of like shorter. So we'll see. And then I got yellow ones that are called Amarillo carrots. So that's it for the carrots. I focused a lot this year on ones that looked cool, but also I wanted the taste profiles to be good because there's lots to be seen and grown for stuff that tastes really well and tastes really good. So I should try and do that, right? I mean, if I'm gonna grow my own stuff, I should probably make sure it's good tasting, you know? Anyways, can you tell I'm excited? I'm gonna be also moving around like crazy because now that the sun is gone, the mosquitoes get crazy. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to go over while I was at the carrots is, I don't know if you saw it in the time lapse, but what I did, these don't have that eco bio mulch on the carrots because I figured it'd be too hard to like slice rows in the bio mulch. It's just like, it's not necessary. And by the time the greenery comes up, it's so bushy and everything that it kind of blocks out the sun. So the weeds aren't so bad in carrots usually. So, or the way that I do them anyway. So when I do a row, I just kind of cleared out the space that I wanted with the straw with these bamboo sticks. I could just kind of drug them into the soil, and it doesn't make a perfect line and it doesn't clear it out perfectly, but all I did was I kind of did that with these and made a fairly definite line. And then I just took a cup of soil, of like our native soil, and sprinkled it in there, and then I put the seeds and I sprinkled them there, and then I sprinkled more soil on top. People have a hard time growing carrots, they say. I've never had an issue growing carrots. One thing my mom told me a while ago that her dad told her, my grandpa, is that they're little seeds and they need help to push through the soil. So if you kind of seed them just a little heavier, then they'll help each other push through the soil. Just because it's such a small seed, it has a hard time getting through. So if you sow them a little thicker and closer together, and then as they get bigger, you just thin them out, which means just ripping out like the odd one every once in a while. Like once you can kind of see the tops of them and they're actually forming a little bit of a carrot root, then I would pick out little ones, and then you have little baby carrots that you can either quick pickle or actually pickle, or you can roast them up, eat them raw, whatever you want. But then they're actually like a little tiny carrot. I would pull those ones out too, because you want them to be like bigger for storing. It makes it a lot easier to store, a lot easier to freeze, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, that's what we do. I heavily sow them. I get my mom to come and thin them. And then when they're little babies, and yes, it may hurt your heart a little just to pull out some of them, but it's worth it in the end, trust me. If you just leave them heavily sown, you're not gonna get good carrots. You're gonna get these little tiny spindly crappy things. So worth it to thin. And then we thin like about 2 or 3 times. We go through like waves of thinning, and you get little baby carrots out of it too. So it's great. Okay, and now this is the corn. As you can see, this year I tried to do, oh, what do they call it? It's like square, like a grid pattern, gridding, I think. Gridding your corn? I don't know if that's what it's called. Basically square. You put them in square patterns, and it's supposed to help pollinate them rather than doing rows. I've never had issues with rows. I did them before, but I guess I kind of did them like my carrots, so they were close together, so they help pollinate each other that way. So kind of closer together is how I would do corn. It's really easy to see how close I made them. Like this is about I don't know, 5-6 inches in that realm apart, and I threw them in there. These ones are espresso bicolor corn. I got them from Vessi Seeds, and they're coated in this pink coating. Honestly, I can't remember why. I think it's to stop them from rotting in the ground. Although, again, I've never had problems with them rotting either. So, and I've just bought seeds from like Home Depot and like Walmart and stuff, and never had an issue. One thing I will say is, well, first of all, these are about 3 years old. So I planted 2 in each hole, and if 2 come up, I'll pull out 1. You don't want them overly crowded, or else they just won't grow very well. I also am going to put squash in between here, like zucchini squash. Hopefully it won't they get kind of big, so hopefully it'll be enough room for them. I'm going to also train them up these bamboo sticks. I'll show you guys that when I do it. Growing zucchini vertically. Okay, what was I going to say about the corn? I was going to say, another thing that my mom told me, I listen to her a lot more this time of my life. With corn, because we have such a short growing season, like between 80 and 100 days, try and get the shortest days of maturity corn that you can find. So if you're just going to like Home Depot or Walmart or whatever, and you're looking at all those seed packages, or if you're looking online and you're skimming through all of them, just find the shortest day variety ones if you're living in a shorter growing season. Because like whether or not, like I have glass gem corn, I am going to be planting that this year, but I started it inside and I'm going to plant it out as a seedling, but that means I'm transplanting it, and those suckers have a taproot. Like, I'm not even kidding, after about a week of the seeds being in the soil inside, they had little shoots on them already, but their taproots were like this long. It was insane, and they're like taking over the bottom of the tray. So corn doesn't like being transplanted, and honestly, it doesn't really need to be. They usually are stronger and do better when you plant them directly into the soil. So the shorter days till maturity is the way to go if you're living in a short kind of growing season. Okay, we're gonna do double whammy over here. I got my beans and my beets going. So let's go over the beets first. This year I'm trying something crazy. We didn't eat a lot of beets. I love them, but Dave doesn't. So we just didn't eat very many of them. It didn't excite me to eat beets last year for some reason. So my thoughts were, let's get beets that, because this really motivates me. Let's get something that I can't buy at the store. I can literally go to Walmart tomorrow and get a huge bag of Detroit red beets and the greens and all that stuff. So it doesn't really motivate me to be growing that in my garden, and I can literally, I'm putting in all this work to grow that, and I can just go to the store and get it for like $2 for a huge bag. So what helps with that is growing stuff that you can't buy at the grocery store. So I grew golden beets and I grew albino beets. Now, I want to explain these. Oh, and I did grow 1 strip of Detroit red just for, you know, the sake of growing some beets. Because I actually have never grown the golden ones or the albino ones. So I don't know how they taste. I don't know if we're gonna like them. I've been told that golden beets are delicious because they're kind of sweeter. They don't have like that dirt kind of taste to them as much. So what I did is I grew a row of white, 2 rows of golden, and then 1 row of the Detroit red. The white, I'm actually really excited for because you're supposed to be able to, yeah, it says this beet can be used for making sugar. I don't know if you've ever heard of sugar beets, but there are like huge areas in like Texas and down in the States where they just have greenhouses and farms full of white beets for making beet sugar. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I'm gonna try making beet sugar. And if I can't make beet sugar, I just wanna try them like roasted and see if we actually like them that way. The golden beets, yeah, I kind of spoke on those. And then the Detroit red will be the same. Good old faithful. Okay, I don't even need the packages for these ones because I just love beans so much. So these are bush beans. That's why they're in here. You can get beans that also trail and they climb, but I have a hard time growing them. I tried growing them last year and they didn't work, but I think it was because it was overcrowded. I've kind of talked on that before, that I put way too much in my garden last year and some things choked each other out. And I think that the noodle beans got choked out. So maybe next year I'll have those and we'll have fun with those. But this year I just wanted beans because I just know that I love them. So I'm growing dragon tongue bush beans and I'm growing red swan bush beans. Never tried the red swan, but they look super cute. They're kind of like a pinky dark color. So I'm gonna try those, see if we like them. I know that I like dragon tongue bush bean because we had them last year. The funny thing about those, I wanted them anyways. And there's rattlesnake, and that I thought those were cool too. But the dragon tongue bush beans are kind of like stripy and crazy looking. And I was watching on YouTube Roots and Refuge, and she has dragon tongue bush beans. And my husband Dave heard the name and thought that that was an amazing name. So he was like, we have to order those. Obviously we have to order them. So that's why we have those. And they're actually really good. I love them. They get really big. You can harvest them bigger or you can keep them small. So anyways, they were really good. So yeah, dragon tongue bush bean and red swan bush bean. That's it. That's it for all of the plants. I'll finish off by showing you guys my peas and then I'll sign off. Okay, so now you can see the peas set up a little bit better. So the idea is that they will trail up this yarn, if you can see the yarn, and then I will have a cucumber planted there, and they will climb up this metal structure, protecting the peas that are growing in the middle. And they're coming up, guys. And my cucumbers are already like fairly large, so they should be growing at the same time. Should work well. Just a little update on the pea situation. All right, well, that's it. Organization. All right, I just have one more thing to do. I'm gonna plant a succession sow for heads of lettuce, or I'm trying to this year. So I'm gonna do that, but you guys don't need to watch that. That is it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, throw them down in the comments. Give this video a like. Go subscribe if you haven't. Do all the things and the stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. But you know, I wanted to make it a little bit of a tradition to dance, and I didn't dance in this one. I wonder if I should just like pop it somewhere in the middle or something. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't pop it in the middle, but should we have a dance off? I mean, I don't have anything to dance on. Should I dance on this? Hold on. Okay. Cue the music. Cue the music. Okay, stop the music. I hope everybody has the bestest day ever and a great weekend and a great week. And don't forget to do all the stuff and the things. Okay, love you, bye.